Hello and welcome to episode 17. Tonight I have a really fun guest. She is Elyse with My Kitchen Shrink. Yes, we have a shrink in the house tonight. So lay down on your couch, get on chat, and ask her lots of questions. She's a nutritionist too. Just wait till you hear all about this little girl that's 24. And then also I'm highlighting Essential Bakery in Seattle. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome to the Gfree and Happy Show that happens every Monday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Time, 10 p.m. Eastern. I'm your host, Kathy. I have been gluten-free for 4 years now, and I'm very happy I did. So I thought I'd start this nice little show every Monday night and to connect with the Gfree community, and hopefully help with the awareness of Gfree products and guests. And so this is every night or every Monday, and I talk to the most amazing guests. So tonight I have Elyse from My Kitchen Shrink. I love that. And let me tell you what she is. I'm going to read it because she holds a dual master's degree in nutrition and clinical health psychology. Hello. We will be talking about why foods are connected to you emotionally and how Elyse helps her clients get through all those hoops and into a healthier lifestyle. But first, episode 17 of Gfree and Happy is brought to you by Elyse. Elyse hosts and produces live video events built to meet your objective. Visit Elyse.tv to request a free 30-minute consultation today to find out more about going live with your brand. Okay, so tonight, every Monday night, I highlight a product that I enjoy and that usually I like that it tastes really good. So I don't know if and I've talked to Elyse about this. Elyse is from Seattle. She went to college here, so she loves everything I love. She just recommended a whole bunch of places for me to try. But so she knows all about the Essential Baking Company. They're in Seattle, and I tried them, I think in Christmas time. They were handing out free samples of gluten-free bread at PCC, and I have to say, the first bite, I fell in love with it. And I should open it real fast, so hold on, I should have had this open. It's a bread like no other, gluten-free, because it's seeded, and it also, I know that you got to get used to the look and feel of gluten-free bread. But let me tell you, this has got seeds in it. It's actually not, they don't use yeast. They use sunflower and flaxseed. They're a little bakery in Seattle that has come a long way. They're in Whole Foods and PCC and many other places now. Actually, I found this bag here at a local little store in my small town of Duval. So this one is a Super Seeded Multi-Grain, my favorite. They have a whole video on essentialbaking.com. We have it underneath on the screen below. Please check it out. Their video is all about the company, and it's a really cute video. They have great social media, so get on Twitter and say hi to them and try their bread. It's really good and healthy and made of natural, organic ingredients. So that is my highlight. I highly recommend them. So it's time already. I was quick. It's time to get Elyse on. Elyse from mykitchenshrink.com. So, Elyse, how's it going? So nice to have you here tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
I'm
excited. I gotta get my Twitter or my little bugs out.
Oh, I know, because Elyse can't move as much with Skype. You want to make sure you're professional
I'm
looking.
gonna try. Yes, I'm gonna
Yes.
try very hard to stay still.
But it's hard because it gets really exciting in this
Yeah.
in the show, I have to say.
Mhm.
All right, Elyse, so tell us, mykitchenshrink.com. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Yeah. So, let's see. Thanks for saying I was 24. I'm 27,
27.
and my journey started a long time ago. It started when I was 13 years old, and I never felt good. I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't like going to school. I got made fun of because I was overweight. And there was always like an intuitive feeling going on inside that I wasn't supposed to look that way or be that way. I wasn't supposed to feel that way. After all, I was only 13 years old. So, why am I feeling so crappy all the time? So I really decided to take a look and I asked my parents for help. I said, I'm not happy with myself. And I'm not happy with the way I feel. So we set out together and we found a nutritionist who would actually see a teenager, because apparently a long time ago they didn't see
They
teens.
didn't see teens?
I don't know.
Oh.
Or certain people would, or certain people wouldn't. But I found a nutritionist, and we were literally 180'd my lifestyle. And I was so driven and determined to find out why. And the cool thing was, I was really able to take a seat and take an inhale in and just stop for a second and pause. And what was cool about it is that we got to look at what I was actually inhaling, the food that I was inhaling, and the why behind it. So that is when I set out on my journey, and I 180 my life to a more whole foods based diet, and I lost 50 pounds along the way. And but that still wasn't. That was like half of the answer, because some of the weight came back on, some of my old behaviors started to creep back up. So I went to get my undergrad in nutrition at Madison, Wisconsin, and I remember sitting there and I was like, I don't really like how they're telling people how to eat or what to eat and things like that. It's not connecting with me on a deeper level, because I feel like a lot of things and places and people tell us what to eat. And if you look around, we're, as a society on a larger level, we are getting bigger and we're also getting sicker. And so for me, my next journey was to really dig deep and find out what was connecting me to some of these behaviors and things like that. So I went and sought out where I could get my degree in psychology, and I actually found Bastyr University, which is in Kentmore, Washington.
Hello,
and,
Washington.
Yeah. And they have a combined nutrition and psychology program.
Now, why? I mean, that's a very interesting. Do many colleges have that kind of a program? Because that's like gold to me.
It was. I was so ecstatic, and I remember I didn't have the best grades in my undergrad, but all I remember, and the power, oh my gosh, the power of your thought and the power of your intention. I said to myself and my family, I said, I'm going to this school. You can't stop me. And I wrote it on a piece of paper and on my mirror. I put it on my mirror every single morning. And,
And across the country you went.
Yeah, 6 years later. It didn't, well, the program was 3 years, but I was in my sophomore year in my undergrad program. So yes. And
you grew in love with this area. In fact, she likes, because, I'm here in Duval. And that's by Seattle and Redmond, and she would frequent these areas, and so she's told me a lot of fun places to go that are gluten-free or organic, and I appreciate that. And I want to plug a special restaurant that I tried over the weekend that you actually gave me,
Oh, yeah.
It's Hugo's Organic Restaurant in Redmond, Washington. And I did a little video. It's on my YouTube page, Gfree and Happy. They are amazing. They're also on our Facebook. They have a Facebook page, but just go to, and I have it up here on my screen. Oh, there's a juice that I tried. That was a beet one. Then there's bruschetta. I tried the pear bruschetta, zucchini, raw zucchini noodles, and and they gave me a little bit of wine to try because I'm trying out organic wines. And also the last thing was a raw cheesecake, and it's a pomegranate cheesecake. Oh my gosh, I know. Hello. And then Hugo's, just to check out what kind of food they have and how gracious they are, check out hugosorganic.com. And plus, for great recipe ideas, they have some amazing food there. But I will be back. I will frequent that place. It's and it's all gluten-free, which I have never been to a restaurant in 4 years that has just totally gluten-free and so healthy. So thank you, Elyse.
Yeah, and it feels so good to eat there. You know, you're eating organic, whole, healthy foods.
Pretty food, too. Usually it's like, oh my gosh, are you sure I have to eat this? What is this? You know, it's like gluten-free, and my husband's eating this amazing food. So he ate mine. I know, little things. And yeah.
So good.
It was a very nice thing, and that's going to be my thing to do now, is to check out every restaurant that I can. And
I'll keep feeding them to you.
Yeah, you did already, so thank you. So let's get on to the question I have, and we're going to go over some of the new things. Oh, got any cheesecake? Hello, Carissa. No, I don't. I ate it all. So let's talk about emotions and food and how, and I didn't really get this until I talked to you. Each year I learned something new about going through a food allergy like gluten. So this I thought was a really important thing. On your website you have a ton of videos that I absolutely love. I looked at them all. And by the way, her website's on the bottom. So it talks about going through the loss of gluten or any allergy you have. So can you talk about that a little bit? I love that video. Everybody needs to check it out.
Yeah. So whether it's any type of a food loss, whether it's gluten or a dairy, because you found out you have a dairy allergy, or corn or soy, or fish, whatever it is, it's the food is what I've learned, and through my experience, is that our food is so much more than food. It's connected to the earth, but it's also connected to our being and who we are. And besides that, it's connected. Food is so social. We go out and we eat with our friends or our family, or we go to events, birthday parties, funerals, various ceremonies. When someone gets married, there's always food around. So when something like a loss happens, and you don't have to treat it so much as like a death or something like that, but it's something similar to, it's a food loss. And we want to be careful and be compassionate and soft with our bodies, because we are taking something out of our bodies. We're taking something out of our
your lifestyle. Yes.
Exactly. And so we just need to be conscious of that and mindful about that.
Because it is a sad process, especially if you're going to restaurants and stuff with your family and you're the only one. Or even if you're not the only one, you're still going through that where, oh, okay, do you have a gluten-free menu? And they'll say, no, I have trees and nut, stuff that you can eat. And so you pay lots of money for this and you don't get the satisfaction that you used to get. So it is kind of a learning process for your brain and your stomach.
Yeah. And you can, there's feelings of, isolation. I don't know if I can go out, or I can go with, my friends, or I can't eat that. And, and there's so much that goes along with it. I guess it's, if you want to call it baggage or whatever. But really, learning how to deal with that. And when we do take something out, there's a hole there, there's a little void there, and we want to put something back in. And so when I work with clients and I work with anyone really on this topic, is after we've taken the specific food or foods out of the diet, I offer and I encourage one of two things. One thing we can do is make that, whatever food it is, first identify that it's a loss, and then I identify some of the emotions that are coming up for you around that. Think of the experiences, the people who are you with,
the wine you're drinking.
And and so identify that and identify the emotions, and then either give that back to yourself, or learn how to make it or remake it, or find an alternative. Or the second option is really, figure out what that food was doing for you emotionally, and then ask yourself, and this is where kind of the why and the psychology part comes in, and digging a little bit deeper, is we're really getting to the root, issue here. What's the core emotion? What's the core belief? And how else can we fulfill ourselves?
How can you get that happy thought back in?
Yeah. And not, the food is one portion of it, but how can we do that? Not always with food, because sometimes people can tend to emotionally eat and overeat. And so how else can we nourish our bodies?
And actually, that's a good point too, because when I stopped, when I went to the gluten-free lifestyle, I gained weight. I did not lose weight, when a lot of people I heard were losing weight because you're trying all new things, and a lot of it's, carbs, because you're missing those carbs that you didn't have before.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and so filling that void with finding out if there's an alternative that you can make, but also finding out what you can do to nourish yourself without the food.
And then breaking the habit, scale, weight, gain, scale, jail, numbers, judgments. I wrote all these down because it's all on her blog, and I love how you put these things in words too. So let's talk about that.
I like to make it fun, that's for sure. For so long, I think our society has said, we have to use the scale as a it helps determine, our weight and how healthy we are. We're always, on a bigger level. I think we like to put numbers to things and quantify things. And that's not how I work. So I really work from the inside out instead of the outside in. And
I like that.
Yeah, really nourishing yourself. And I say, what? Use the scale as a doorstopper, or throw it away, or put it away.
It's hard to break that habit, because at the gym they have that big old scale next to the bathrooms as you're getting ready to leave, and you wanna do it. And I don't want to look at the numbers anymore if I can help it.
Yeah, we've been trained that the scale, it gives us this number. And the unfortunate thing is, I think sometimes there's too much emphasis on the number, and not just, I think whether we're doing all these amazing, wonderful, beneficial things like working out and, eating a well-balanced or well-rounded lifestyle.
How do you feel better by not looking at the numbers, though? I'm seeing it going down, but a lot of people don't see it going down. They see it like staying. So how would you suggest we feel better by not looking at the numbers and kind of looking inside? Are there some things that we can do on a daily basis?
All right. I think I want to, hold on. I want my computer. Whoop.
You're still there.
Okay.
I see you. You're
all
okay.
Right. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
How would I suggest feeling better?
Yes, without looking at the scales.
Mm-hmm. Well, I come from more of an intuitive eating perspective, so really listening to our bodies, and that's going to take different skill sets and tools that I offer to my clients. We talk about how hungry are you, how full are you, and really just starting to listen to our bodies instead of listening to the numbers and the scale, and what that says, and just really being okay in our own skin. So there's no set, rhyme or reason or plan. Everyone's so different, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. And when I work with my clients, we really get below the surface, and we talk about that. What does that number really mean to you?
Well,
And we talk about the core beliefs about that, and if those are really serving you and nourishing you, or if those are taking away and depleting you.
I like that, nourishing you, serving you and nourishing you.
Yeah, so there's not
There's not like a magic pill you take and things will be just fine.
absolutely, yeah, absolutely not. It's definitely small steps and small tools over time that really create this amazing journey.
Well, you came into my life right at the right point because I had gone through some of these processes already, and now I'm into, listening to if I'm hungry. It was never that way. It's like, well, I'm right next to the pantry. I can just get something and eat it. Yeah. So I've been listening, but also I want to read. She sent me over tonight her new meal makeover, and is it on your website, or how do we get it? You join in tell us a little bit about it, because I have some cute little things she says in here.
Sure. I just, last week when we had talked a little bit, you were wanting some ideas for food and different meals and things like that. And so instead of just giving
Look
you
how pretty that is.
a bunch of meals and things like that, I like to make it fun and interactive. But so I've got five different recipes on there, I think. And the cool thing, the Wrap It Up, the BLTs, those are
Oh
fun.
my gosh, look at it. And you have beautiful pictures.
Yeah,
Ooh, that does look, it's a wrap, and the BLT, it's down at the bottom there. Yummy.
Colored green.
Ooh,
And
omelets to go. I saw that on Pinterest. I think that's a wonderful idea.
delicious. And you can put, if you don't eat meat or you don't do bacon, throw in turkey or chicken, whatever you fancy.
Okay, so then she has another one that's coconut cream pork chops.
So good. You have to. They're delicious.
I'm already hungry. Veg out hummus, and then yogurt your way, which is very nice too. Ooh, it's got some cinnamon and honey, and yeah. Good stuff.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Yes. But wait, let's see. Anne is asking, what type of events could I host or go to that everyone can enjoy, but are also gluten safe? I find this difficult, and I often become very nervous about where and how the food was cooked. Anne, so yes, that's exactly how I think we all feel when we have a food allergy, no matter what it is.
Oh yeah. And I think that's a huge piece to the puzzle too, is, how do we, outside of our comfort zone and our safe zone, which is usually our homes, how do we go out into public and to a restaurant or to a friend's house and know if the food that we're going to have is safe, and B, there's a level of trust. We need to trust people who are making the food, that they, I guess at some level have an education about what gluten is and how to prepare it safely. One of the all-time tips that I give for that is, wherever you're going, I always make sure to pack something up just in case. And those BLT or the collard green wraps are a great alternative to just kind of throw in your purse or your bag. And then if I'm going to an outing or a get-together, I always bring something that's going to be a well-balanced, snack or meal that I know that I'm going to be able to enjoy.
I like, and it's another Seattle company. It's called Zing Bars. I always have one in my purse now. I love the coconut one. That is my favorite. And those seem to be pretty healthy, and they're satisfying. So, you don't want to go into one of those places and be starving and then be glutened, or somebody said on chat last week, zapped. So those kind of things bring a snack that you've made that is safe, or bring a packaged one that is safe too.
Yes, always plan and prepare ahead of time. That's what I say.
Yeah, I'm constantly now putting some nuts in bags just to be safe.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one that I want to talk to you about is nourishing your body. I like this part where you say, slow the aging process down with food. Hello, and please explain, because I want to do this.
So I love this, and I don't know how this happened. It was like a miracle. But, on the blog, on the video blog that I do, I say slow the aging process down. And age, if you go through the blog, it stands for advanced. This is a crazy long scientific word. Advanced glycosylated end products. What the heck are those? Those are, in a nutshell, when you've got something like a protein and a carbohydrate, and they bind together through heat, and it's gonna look like the crispiness on the outside of toast or pizza crust, cookies, bagels, cakes, things like that. So when that happens, that actually creates toxins inside of our body, inside of our cells when we eat them. And so the whole idea with that being is, when you look at it at a microscopic level, these bonds and things like that.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, no. When you get to a bigger level, right? Like the cookies, cakes, pizzas,
Yes.
pies, things like that. Those are things, and I'm never going to say never. Don't eat those. That's not the.
No, you can't help it.
I am. But let's eat them in moderation. And
or the chocolate bunnies that I consumed today.
yeah. And let's fill up most of our plates with fresh, vegetables and fruit and things like that. Also, heating your meat in a slow cooker or baking them is also going to help with that and not create those.
Why? Why would that? That's interesting. I never heard of that.
Yeah. So when the meat is cooked at a slower rate, it gets more tender. It doesn't crisp up. So when you barbecue something, or
my husband will like that.
Yeah, it makes that crispiness, and that's where you're going to find the ages.
Really? Oh, the little, what do you call those, antibodies or those things?
Advanced glycosylated end products.
What else? Where else do you find these? Tell me again where you find these suckers.
So you're gonna find them in like potato chips, cakes, pies, pizza, anything that's gonna be browned and crunchy.
Interesting. I had never heard of that, so thank you. So the next time you guys are eating one of those, just remember you're eating those little thingies, AGs. That would keep me. Yeah, I like and you're actually going to be a reoccurring guest because I think you have a lot to offer the gluten-free community for sure. But also I have kind of a lifestyle that I'm changing this year, and I need help. So what better place to get it than a shrink? Yes. And a nutritionist, of course. So let's hear where we can all find you, where we can get those videos. Tell us a little bit about your menu plan, and also if you have any events coming up.
Okay, perfect. So you can find me over at mykitchenshrink.com, and I love your questions. So if you have a queue, let me, I want to answer that. So
she actually answers them on her videos.
Yeah, I do. So, and I want to hear from you. So come on over to mykitchenshrink.com, and you can go to the Contact Me tab and write me a question and give me some specifics, give me some details, because I also read your question on my ETV episodes. And then come on over to Facebook. You can see me on Facebook. I post recipes and different tips and things like that as well. So it's My Kitchen Shrink. And you can follow me on Twitter. It's Miss EMSN /CHP.
That's an interesting Twitter handle, by the way. It's like,
they
what?
Didn't have My Kitchen Shrink. Yeah, I know. And where else can you find me? I'm in Chicago, so you can find me at the Gluten-Free and Allergen-Free Expo coming up April 20th and 21st. It's going to be a blast. I'm super excited.
In Chicago?
In Chicago.
I'm so jealous. I want to go to one. I will go to one. That's another thing. Actually, before we go to, Kendra has a Let's see. A good question here, if you don't mind answering it. We are looking for snack ideas to pack at school for my daughter with T1D, gluten and dairy-free, and son who is also gluten and dairy-free. Whoa, Kendra. My daughter also doesn't eat meat. So can you give her a couple snack ideas that would actually be good for kids that they'd enjoy?
Sure. One snack idea that comes to mind is if they can do some type of a bean dip, whether it's garbanzo beans or chickpeas, but some type of a hummus with any type of or a variety of different vegetables. Those can be easily packed away. The hummus can be made. And in fact, I gave a hummus recipe, so maybe we can get that to her.
Yeah, let's make sure Kendra gets that.
Send that over to her. And also, any type of fruit, if you're going to do bananas or apples, cut those up and
put a little peanut butter.
Peanut butter, almond butter, sunflower seed butter. I love sunflower seed butter.
I tried that one.
Oh, it's so good. That's another option. And if they are dairy-free and gluten-free, my new favorite yogurt is called Amande, Amande. And so putting that with a little bit of...
We're also tweeting these out to everybody, so you guys can look at our Twitter, my Gfree and Happy... No, it's Kathy K. Nelson, Twitter. It'll have all of her information, or you could go to her site and contact her. Go ahead.
I just also wanted to say, for all you Gfree foodies out there, please come on over to my site, and under the Assets tab, you can download 2 free guides. One is an alternative baking guide with different nuts, different flours and nut flours, different alternatives for dairy, eggs, and also I've got a gluten-free dating guide for those of you who, and you don't have to just be dating, but just going out with your friends.
I love it. That's a very good idea.
Free download, so come on over.
Okay, we have something else too. She says they miss yogurt, so love those recommendations. And then also, northern beans are great for hummus for gluten-free scent. Thank you very much. Also, will you be at the expo in Syracuse, New Jersey?
I won't, unfortunately.
I want to. Sounds like fun.
That sounds fun. And people can also, if they want to do a one-on-one Skype or phone consult with me, I'm available that way as well. So they can just contact me via email.
Okay, so I do recommend this because I talked to her because of my show. So we Skyped last week. And the funniest thing, I learned about myself. It was like she was shrinking me while we were doing a test because I learned why I like frosting. Because my mom used to, but anyways, she's wonderful. I mean, really, you get down deep without even really knowing that. I mean, you just ask simple questions, but you ask the right ones. So anyways, this has been so much fun. Thank you all for asking questions and being a part. Anne also says, Elsie, when could I book a session with you? I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, you can email me at elyse@mykitchenshrink.com anytime, and I'll get back to you.
Oh, good. So you got her email, you got her website, Facebook, Twitter. She'll be at an event this month. So just get a hold of Elyse, and she'll be on my show again, Gfree and Happy. So Elyse, thank you again, and I'll be talking to you soon. Look at her meal plans, everything. Thanks again.
Thank you.
So next week, I have, by the way, thank you, Elyse. Wonderful information. Can't wait to have you on my show again. So next week I have the co-founder, this is going to be fun, of TasteGuru.com. Please check out Taste Guru. They're so social on Twitter too. Everybody that's Gfree or wants to know about eating well, get on Twitter. There's a huge community of great people. So next week, I'll be talking to the co-founder of Taste Guru, David. I can't wait. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Check out gfreeandhappy.com. We also have the videos up on YouTube and on my website. So thanks again, and see you next week. Have a great Gfree Happy week.